let's get started then. And let me first of all welcome everybody to Commissioners Court here, December 27th, our first court after Christmas. We've had a long few days off, and we're anxious to get back to work again. And we have some guests with us today and that we would like to recognize here in just a minute, and some other announcements that we'd like to make as well. But if you will, let's stand. And we do not have a prayer today, so I'll do the honors today. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this opportunity to come and do the business of the county, Lord. We ask that you be with us today, lead, guide, and direct us in all the decisions that we make. Lord, we ask that you go with this county as we hope to continue to prosper in all things that we do. And all our decisions are just and serve the county and the people of this county as they should. Lord, go with us now through this meeting and through the remainder of this day. Take us safely to our destinations when we're through. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And
I would like to
go ahead.
send condolences to the Charlie Falcon family. He's the county judge at Andrews County. He passed away this morning about 3 o'clock. He's probably, I think, around 59 years old. He has heart conditions. Fought it for about 3 months. He's been going back and forth. Keep him in your prayers, and his family and the county.
Also, if you don't mind, would you identify yourself? Just we like to have our.
I didn't make a big deal. I just want to sit through.
We do though.
Okay. Well, I'm Tim Bowler. I'm in Amarillo, and Amarillo's divided into 2 counties. I'm the county commissioner in Randall County.
Welcome.
I'm still trying to figure out that job, so I figured out right there.
Yeah.
But y'all's agenda, I don't think I'll stay, but I'd like to watch a little bit. So thank you for posting.
You betcha. We're always glad to have guests here.
Welcome to
I
Cooke.
don't know if you'll learn anything, but if you watch these guys, you might be able to. All right. If Commissioner Art, if you would lead us in our pledge.
American flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
the great state of Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God.
Good morning, Madam Auditor.
Sounds like you and I are gonna have to just kind of limp through court today.
I'll make it.
I will too, somehow or another. All right, once again, welcome everybody to court today. We're glad to have guests with us anytime we can. I hope you have a pleasant trip here and a pleasant trip back to your counties. Thank you for your announcement, Commissioner Arndt. Do we have any public comments on any agenda items?
We do not.
We do not, okay. Our consent agenda. The consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda. And I'd like, go ahead.
Pull N through R.
N through R.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's all the board.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Arndt would like to pull items N through R on the consent agenda. I would also like to pull item U. I think we need to discuss that with our attorney before we make any decision on that particular item. And I've been advised that item V is the same as item S, so therefore you can disregard item V.
approved.
Commissioner Arndt moves to approve the consent agenda with the exception of
N, R,
N through R and U, and disregarding V. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. The consent agenda passes 5-0 with the exceptions that were noted. Item, oh, go ahead.
R.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
These are the road boards. This is the Compadre Cattle Company. With the solar farms coming in, they requested road boards. So we put them on court. I've looked over them, but I want everybody to look over them, or I'm sure you have. I've never had a road board, so I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Okay.
What are they gonna put underneath it?
It specifies in there, Jason, it's supposed to be like a 10-inch diameter bore, and then they're gonna put 2 polys with 1-inch service lines passing through those.
Everything's sleeved.
Yeah, sleeved, and they're gonna be at approximately 60 inches deep. The way we'll never get into them. It is high voltage. I don't know if that's, I think it's supposed to be 60 or plus, 60 inches.
I've never had a high voltage.
Yeah. So they're gonna go approximately 60 inches.
I always make sure on my boards that everything's sleeved, that way they don't have to do it again if something
Right.
fails.
Yeah, they're sleeving it, I believe, 2-inch poly, then they're running a 1-inch cable through it. That's what it reads. On each, there's 3 or 4 boards, I believe they're doing.
It's like 5.
And I move to approve the board if everybody agrees to what they were saying,
It's showing 3.5 foot below
below the grade
the grade,
of
yeah,
the ditch.
for approximately 60 foot. Yeah.
That's our minimum, but they're going, you said 60 inches.
60 inches. Below the ditch, you're looking at 48, and the ditches out there are about 2 foot. That'll give us plenty of room to maintain, keep in there, I believe.
Do you guys actually do your bores, or who does the bore for you?
Third party.
Third party, okay.
We don't bore anything, Judge.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, yeah. We don't bore it, and we don't pay somebody. It's usually the utility
Utility?
that's
Okay.
paying the,
Typically our road boards are water.
yeah, that's what we see
Water
most of
line
the
running
time,
back
water
and forth.
companies.
We've done these before with the wind farms underneath the roads, and got some
Just
of
did a couple on the sheriff's department out there.
Yeah.
I'll second your motion.
Okay, so would you like to repeat your motion?
Make the motion, we approve the road boards, what numbers are they?
In through R?
N through R for Compadre Solar LLC.
We don't have to identify who's gonna do it, just that the
We're just giving them approval to do
approval to do it,
to
okay.
this spec.
All right, we have a motion, Commissioner Arndt, to approve items N through R on the consent agenda. We have a second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Items N through R have passed 5-0. And then back to item U, I just got to looking at that some more, and actually, Item U, the way the contract reads is a little confusing in that it renewed on the 1st of November of 19 for 5 years, which would put it to end on the 1st of November of 24. So I just need to check legally to see if we can, number one, if we can,
If it hadn't been appropriated,
Oh.
it's automatically canceled. In the
Okay.
state of Texas, if it hadn't been appropriated in the new budget year, it's automatically canceled.
okay,
But you can ask your county attorney,
okay.
since I'm the one that put it on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't budget it.
Then I don't guess we need to ask the attorney then.
I
think.
welcome you asking the attorney, it's okay.
Okay. How's your shoulder, by the way?
It's getting there.
Is it? Okay. Welcome back,
Thank you.
by the way. All right, item U, actually, we don't really even need to cancel it then, do we?
Yes.
Still need to cancel it, okay. Then I'll go ahead and make the motion that we cancel item U. We have entered into a contract with Bagby on the elevators, so we're not without contract.
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Hart. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item U passes 5-0. That completes the consent agenda. Item number 7, deliberate and consider possibly approving the treasurer's monthly report for November.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Snuggs.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item 7 passes 5-0. Item number 8, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the presentation of Cooke County SAR, the SAFE team report. And I'll make the motion that we have the presentation.
Hear me out?
Yes, and if you would identify yourself, please.
My name's Ginger Johnson. I'm the Executive Director for Abigail's Arms. 2 years ago, the state set a goal to create a SART team, a sexual assault response team, in every county in Texas. Understanding that victims of sexual assault don't typically report. Actually, they don't typically tell anybody what happened to them. And understanding that that creates drains on state and county funding because they have mental health issues, medical issues, and things that they do not deal with because of their trauma. So over the last 2 years, our team, which actually started in 2013, has been working to find basically the holes, if you will, of where victims of sexual assault specifically are falling through the cracks and how we can present to the citizens of Cooke County the information that's needed so that victims know where the supportive services are and where they can get help. So I want to kind of ask you a question. How many of you guys have been in a traffic accident at some point in your life? The first thing that happens after that accident is you start thinking, was that red light red? Or was it still yellow? Or was there a stop sign there I should not have run? You start doubting what you saw before it happened. For victims of sexual assault, because it is such an invasive and humiliating crime, when they start thinking about what did I do, was I in the wrong place? Did I wear the wrong clothes? Should I have not gone out with this person? Should I have not gone to this party? Those are things that they immediately start thinking and start blaming themselves. This is a huge hurdle for victims of any crime to get over, is understanding that this is something that was done to them, not something that they chose to happen. So we want to be able to provide for the county the supportive services to these victims, but the first step is making sure that they know that there are resources available to them. So part of the goal for our specific SART team is to make sure that the word is out, that Abigail's Arms is available, that law enforcement, the courts, the commissioners' courts, that we're all working together to be able to provide trauma-informed services for victims in Cooke County. I have 2 of my team members here who specifically work with victims of sexual assault, Michelle Sims and Alondra Perez. Michelle is actually working out at the college. She's out there every Monday working with the instructors and the staff and the students. In the last few weeks, she did a kind of an informal survey. She used a QR code, and students could scan that and answer questions. And what we found was that 54% of the students who took this survey had experienced some form of sexual assault. 54% had experienced sexual assault. 47% did not report it to the police, and 47% did not tell anyone. And what this does for a victim, it creates higher health issues, higher mental health issues, unhealthy coping skills fall into place, which is often drugs or alcohol use, hypervigilance, which can cause them to be hyper-focused on the wrong things. And these are all things that we can help those victims with. But first we have to get over that hurdle of this was done to you, and it's not your fault. And so speaking out and getting those services can help you move on to be a more productive member of society and have a better outcome. So we're really taking huge strides to try to make sure that the citizens of Cooke County know that Abigail's Arms is here. The multidisciplinary team includes Judge Rohn, the hospital, the college, Gainesville and Cooke County and Valley View police departments are all involved in it. And really looking at, not only for us, but also for law enforcement, how can we increase their trauma-informed presence and the way that they present. Law enforcement has taken huge strides in training to help their officers ask questions in ways that don't add to that it's my fault. For a lot of victims, law enforcement has to ask, what were you wearing? They're collecting evidence. That's what they're asking. But to a victim, they internalize that as, I was wearing something I shouldn't have been wearing. So how can we help everybody work together to really support this victim? And that's really the goal of this. We're required to present this report to the Commissioner's Court every 2 years. So this is our first report to you guys. We're hoping as we move forward that we will be able to see an increase in services to victims. Right now, this past year, I think we had 8 and 6, so around less than 20 victims who reported to law enforcement. We had 98 victims come into Abigail's Arms to receive services. One of the things we do is we encourage them to file a police report, but a lot of times that is a step they are just not able and willing to take when they come in and see us. So we try to work with them and help them get to a point where they can. The longer they wait, the harder it is for law enforcement to be able to move forward with that case, which then makes it harder to get it to the prosecutor's office to prosecute the perpetrators of the crimes. These perpetrators are not the misunderstood drunk guy. They are serial people who strategize and work to find victims in our county and assault them. It is people who seek out their victims and identify them and work to create situations where they can do these assaults. And so we really want to be able to see this process improve all the way across the board, from services to the victim that we provide to services that law enforcement provides, that the prosecutor's office can provide. And this team, that is their goal, is to be able to do that. So do you guys have any questions about the report that we've presented to you guys?
If you become aware of a sexual assault, would the proper thing to do send them to Abigail's Arms or directly to you?
We always tell people, if someone discloses that they've been a victim of any kind of an assault, if nothing else, have them call us, and we can help them understand the process for if and when they want to file a police report, if they want to prosecute, if they need a SANE exam to make sure that they're okay, to get medications to make sure that they weren't exposed to anything that we need to take care of. So we always say, even if they don't want to file a police report, please have them contact Abigail's Arms and talk to an advocate about the resources that are available to them. And then we'll work with them from there. So, yeah.
What you need from the court is to receive and file, right?
Yes.
I'd make a motion, we receive and file.
Second.
We have a motion to receive and file this report once every 2 years, right?
Every 2 years, we'll come back and we'll report the updated information that we have and what our progress is.
Commissioner Hollowell's motion, Commissioner Snuggs has seconded that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Thank you very much for your.
Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Looking forward to the next 2 years to hear you again.
All right, thank you.
Pull those plats up.
Okay, item number 9, open public hearing. At 10:21. And the public hearing is regarding, the replat of lots 3 through 5, section 5 of Whispering Hills Estates. Is anyone here to speak to that, or? Oh, yes, please. If you would identify yourself.
Thank you.
and-
My name is Randall Parks. Yeah, this is a project we have 3 adjacent lots there that we'd like to replat into one. There are 2 homes on 2 adjacent lots that we want to remove and then build a home across the plat line. So we felt like it was the right thing to try to get that replatted, if it pleases the court, to build a one home instead of 2 that are there now. One's about 65 years old, an old Bill Patterson home around the lake. But we've been there for a long time at the lake, and it's a property above it actually. But that's what our intention is with this replat, so we could be right with the county. Instead of build across it, and then you guys find out about it, right?
Bigger lot instead of smaller lot, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the grand vision for this old Whispering Hills was, they put about a bajillion lots on there. I think it was gonna be South Florida at one time, and all that kind of stuff. And these lots are just about, I don't know if they're 60, the plat probably says it's 65, 70 foot wide, but, so over the years, I've acquired 4 lots there, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Anybody else to speak to this issue? If not, we'll close the public hearing at 10:23. Item number 11 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Parks 1420 LLC for replat of lots 3 through 5, section 5 of Whispering Hills Estates.
Make a motion.
Motion is made by Commissioner Sicking to approve item number 11.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none.
And thank you for what you all do, though.
Thank you.
On behalf of the county.
Item number 12, another public hearing. Open public hearing, request by I-20 Terrell Land Holdings LLC for special exception to lot size and zoning change from agricultural to residential on 8 lots located partially in Cooke County in the proposed Lake Geneva subdivision on Chisholm Road at Hewlett Road, Sanger, Texas.
I'm gonna stop you, Judge, and
No,
all of these items,
okay, go ahead.
12, 13, 14, I'm gonna table them. They didn't have any representation. I said I'm not gonna hold a appeal
Okay.
hearing without representation here. So
Okay.
they're gonna have to reapproach.
We'll,
Actually, I wanna table them. We just do no action.
just no action on 12, 13, and 14? Just those 3? Okay. Items number 12, 13, and 14 then are no action, no representation.
And that was an appeal from the Lake Ray Roberts P&Z is what that was.
Was it?
They were appealing a decision down there.
Okay. You expect it at a later date, or?
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Something that the Ray Roberts wasn't supporting?
Yeah, they
Not in
weren't
favor of
supporting
it.
the change and they wanted to appeal it to us.
Okay, item number 15, deliberate and consider possible action regarding Library Director Jennifer Johnson Spence to attend the Public Libraries Association Conference in Columbus, Ohio from April 3rd through the 5th, 2024.
Good morning. We talked about this in the last court, and we said we would bring it back. So, as you know, Pam and I both looked at lots of video with past courts through the budget hearing. I checked my budget hearing specifically on June 27th, and there was nothing there specifically. And then Pam found one on August 14th that we both looked at when you guys finalized this year's budget. It's gray. It doesn't completely come out and say no out-of-state travel. It does mention out-of-state travel. It does mention the sheriff, but it doesn't say about other departments. I am okay with whatever you guys decide. I promised you I would look and see what the cost to go to PLA in Ohio would cost versus the same as going to TLA in San Antonio, and they're going to end up coming out to be about the same amount between hotel rooms in San Antonio cost, hotels less in Columbus, Ohio than San Antonio Riverwalk area. So there's obviously a ticket, but there's also mileage to drive to San Antonio. So it kind of evens out. I'm okay with whatever you decide. If I go, the credits count for my CE as they would count for TLA. So whatever you determine, the five of you, is what I will do. There'll be parking either way, parking at the hotel in San Antonio, parking at the airport. So whichever, it's up to you. PLA early bird is $347 and TLA early bird is, I think, $319. So registration early bird isn't that much of a difference as well. So
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Here. Earlier this year, back during budget time, we made a specific effort to contact all of the different department heads and elected officials and look at specifically our travel and conference expenses and that sort of thing, in hopes that we could cut back on our conference expenses quite a bit. Is this a course or a conference that is necessary for the performance of your duties as librarian?
Well, it would take place of the TLA one. It would allow me to look at things differently since it's the national level one, where the TLA one would be Texas State, which tends to focus more on programming and school library, unfortunately. This one would let me know about national grants and national programs. Also, I'm not trying to be rude, but I was never contacted about decreasing my travel budget. So I wasn't given an opportunity to do that, even if I had done that. So I'm, it would help. It would allow me to look at things differently and talk to do some different programs than what are available at the Texas one. It's an every 2-year conference. The last one I attended was in 2020. It happened literally 2 weeks before COVID shut down. So I've not been back. They do offer, I don't know what it'll cost, but they do offer a virtual conference. So that may be a way I could do it, as well as then maybe doing a smaller conference in-state that would count. That's something different to think about as well. And I quoted the TLA early bird, it's $368. So its early bird registration is actually more than the national one, so.
and a virtual conference would accomplish the same thing, only at a fraction of the cost. Is that?
It should, they still haven't figured out what all is going to be available, because obviously you can't do all sessions when you have thousands of sessions, but there ought to be at least 3 or 4 that they virtually would offer that I could do. But like I said, they don't have the price on the website yet for that, so.
I think when we were talking about reducing travel, we wasn't just trying to focus on the library. We were talking about countywide and eliminating all out-of-state travel with the exception of law enforcement. And that primarily was focused on the training necessary for the K-9. And I think that training is probably limited, or our closest is in Louisiana. So it wasn't directed at the library at all. So, and it hadn't been in a too distant past. We had some other departments maybe that went to Vegas or somewhere. But I think our intent was try to limit out of state for all the departments is what the intent was.
What kind of CEs do you have to have?
I have to have 25 a year. And then the second in charge person has to have 20. So Kim's already registered to go to TLA. So it seemed silly for us both to go to the same conference too, when she's got to go, and she'll go because the programming ideas are things that she will do and use or come back with, because that's where the focus is. So she does a lot of the outreach and the children's stuff, and when we do summer, she'll learn things about summer reading that we do. So for her, it's a legitimate conference. But to have us both there at the same time, I went this year because she was presenting for the first time ever, and I had a place I could stay 2 of the nights for free. I have a friend from elementary high school and high school that lives down there, and I stayed with her 2 of those nights and just spent 2 nights downtown at the hotel to save money too. So.
Did I hear you correctly? There is another conference other than that one in Texas that you could possibly attend?
Somebody mentioned to me something about an informal science education one. It's down in Corpus Christi, which I've never been to. I don't know where that is. I know it's along the water, but I'm not a big Gulf of Mexico girl. I've never been there actually, unless it was in New Orleans. So, you know, I'm looking to see, it's cheaper as far as that, but driving, obviously, I probably won't drive. That's an 8-hour drive. So we would have the flight and the parking for it. I've applied, one of the things I had you guys approve today was that I could apply for a grant and see if, because it's my first time, I would be able to get that grant. I don't know how many other people will apply for it, but
Will that one require?
You can't throw your hat in the ring if you don't apply, and so.
If you were to receive that grant, will it require out-of-state travel?
No, it's for that conference.
Because we don't want to contradict ourselves.
No, sir, no, it's for that specific conference.
I think our focus has been for several years now to try to eliminate that out-of-state travel. And I'd make a motion that we deny the out-of-state travel, not just for you, but any upcoming or go back to, actually, if we need to, modify our policy to state no out-of-state travel with the exception of law enforcement.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, to eliminate out-of-state travel
Oops.
for conferences, which would actually take in this item 15 here, and further verbiage to come, I believe, on what we actually want to read.
Specifically, I guess for this agenda,
Yep.
I need to make a motion that we deny the travel to the Public Libraries
Right.
Association Conference in Columbus, Ohio in
Right.
April.
Okay, motion to deny the travel to Ohio for the library conference. Commissioner Hollowell, do I hear a second? Second, Commissioner Sicking, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none.
Thank you. I just wanted us to bring it back because we
Yeah.
said we
Thanks
would
for doing the
last time.
research for
So
us.
I think we needed
Yeah.
to do that. So
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Sure. Item number 16, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the specifications for the new concrete slab at the rear entrance to the annex building. Rick is not here today. He's got COVID. I talked to him a little bit earlier, and he sounds like he has COVID, unfortunately. So, but I think he has talked to each person, and what he is talking about, which option was that? Option B?
B.
Was it B?
Yes.
Yeah. He had recommended option B that I think we all had, which was just a simple slab bore, I think, wasn't it?
Right, just out the back door there,
Yeah.
fix that slab.
And that fixes some broken concrete that's in the back of the building there and provides for a safe entrance into the rear part of the building there, whereas right now it's unsafe.
That, Judge, it's my understanding that it actually doesn't repair the existing sidewalk that runs north and south immediately behind the building where it's broken. It's got that, you know, the rise in it. This bid doesn't take care of that. Rick says he would take care of that himself.
Yeah, what I was talking about, the broken,
Well, in looking at the drawing, you know, there's a broken piece right there. It doesn't fix that, but it
oh, no, I'm
addresses,
talking right there by the door.
coming right out the
Yes.
door, it addresses and increases the size of that slab so she can come in and out with her
Right,
voting machines
right.
and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
But my question was, did it fix this? And it does not
No,
fix
it does
that.
not
And
fix
he
that.
said he would, and this is a hazard here, he
Right.
said he and
He could
his
take care
team
of
would
that
take
on
care of
his
that.
own.
Plan B.
And of course, none of it's actually budgeted. He said he could take it out of his budget, but at some point in time later in the year, he may have to come
Yeah,
back
I
and,
think it's like 5,500 or something like that.
and
Do we
Sheet
have
here
that?
shows 39.
Do what now?
there's a
I
39.
asked him about that, he said he wrote down the wrong number on that. The bid is 3905.
Oh, okay.
Well, and there's one for 3,600, because we need to, if we're gonna approve this, you gotta identify which one of these bids you want to accept.
Yeah.
What quotes? Yeah, quotes.
Which quote is that, do you know?
B. B.
B is the actual, that's the plan, is that the
and-
quote?
And the quote,
Yeah, one's 39,
Completed
one's
plan B.
36.
3905.
And then this
Okay.
one's 36. There's two different ones. So here's is 36. Plan B. This is
I
30.
guess he's planning on going with this one.
Why would you go with higher? This is plan, this one got quote A, B, and C. And he
That's it.
quoted A, B, and C.
Okay.
This is $300 cheaper.
Right, right.
The first one's the one been doing quite a bit of work for us over there, but, yeah.
Do it.
That first bid, that guy's been doing, or first quote, the guy's been doing quite a bit of work for us over there.
I didn't see the second in there.
I'll make the motion to go with Plan B and award it to the $3,600 bid.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Arndt, to go with Plan B and go with the $3,600 quote on the repair of the slab behind the shed. Do I hear a second?
So,
Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And there are none. Okay. Item number 16 passes 5-0. Item number 17, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the peace officer training reimbursement agreement.
Good
Would
morning.
that be you?
So the sheriff has asked me to present this in his absence. So the sheriff is planning on sending a jailer to peace officer school. So this is an agreement between the jailer and the county. It requires the individual to remain employed with the county for a 3-year period in exchange for the cost of the tuition and equipment. And if the employee chooses to leave employment during that 3-year period, then they will owe either all or a partial amount of that schooling and equipment back to the county. So this agreement will be a kind of standard practice from this point forward with anyone attending peace officer school. It's funded by the county.
Of course, we know what's driving that. You can't
Right.
hire officers. And in this case, he's got an individual that's worked for him, he knows him. And so we have history versus hiring one off the street. You can do your backgrounds, but you still don't necessarily know the individual. So I'd make the motion, we approve this.
Second.
We have a motion to approve item number 17, Commissioner Hollowell, second Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none.
For the record, that's in the budget,
That's right.
under training.
And thank you, Sheriff, for
Thank you.
item number 18. Deliberate and consider possible action regarding the election ballot for the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Board of Directors and authorize the county judge to sign the election ballot. Have you all seen the ballot?
I know 2 out of the 3 personally. I don't know the Sabine County Auditor. Shelley probably does. Shelley, you have any input there?
Where is it?
Teresa Jacks. Does that sound familiar to you?
Tricia?
Tricia?
I didn't think the Wise County Sheriff was running again.
I can't speak to that. Surely they,
I don't think he's running.
You say you don't think he's running again?
that'll fall back on TAC to fill the vacancy, won't it? What do you see as options?
Go with Carter.
There are 5 positions, 1 nominee for each position. Vote on all positions.
So you vote for all 3 of them?
That's what I think.
No.
Anybody see anything different? Looks to me like we vote for all 3.
Didn't you say you could vote for one or?
I thought you could vote for all 3, that's why I did.
Yeah. I mean, you got 5 positions.
Yeah, because there's only 3 on there.
Or we can write one of you guys in if y'all looking for something to do.
We've got a volunteer right out here.
Yeah. Short of you guys understanding something different, I'd suggest we you get a choice of for or against for each of the 3, or a write-in. I would suggest we support, these looks like they're nominations from TAC. I'd make the motion, we vote for all 3.
And allow the judge to sign it.
Yeah, and allow the judge to
Second.
sign it.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, to vote for all 3 of the nominees on the ballot and then to allow me to sign said ballot. And second, Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion, deliberation? If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. Item number 18 passes 5-0.
When was that dated, Shelley? Was that current?
Do what now?
June the 8th.
See, he may have changed his mind.
Well, the one above it says.
She's doing some internet research over there. It says the sheriff's not gonna run in Wise County, but if he's not, it's not gonna affect our vote.
No,
They'll just send back another ballot with
that's right.
somebody else's name on it, be my thinking.
Send a replacement.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of unusual though if he wasn't to.
That's the reason I asked, was that June or was that something current? Because I thought maybe he changed his mind. So,
Okay. Moving on, item number 19, deliberate and consider possible action regarding Kiwanis Club 2024 flag program, adding a flag in front of the auto registration office for an additional $50 for a total of $650. Basically, that's Kiwanis's, excuse me, that's Kiwanis Club's action. Did they felt like another flag was needed, or a flag was needed in front of the registration, the tag office. I don't believe there was one there previously. However, I can't speak to that since I wasn't here.
They
in years
originally came
past.
and asked for just the courthouse.
Just the courthouse, okay. But since the tag office is now part of it, then, okay, so that's what it is.
they asked for the courthouse, I think, initially, then we added 2 at driver's license and 2 at the Prosperity Bank. I believe that's the way it went down, Shelley's what I'm thinking. Or with the,
I don't know that did those come to court?
I don't, this is the first time I've ever seen it that I recall.
First time I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
The initial one did,
Yeah, for 8.
right.
And then,
I don't know about the
so they've added 4 and it's $50 a flag.
Just did it, huh?
Judge, I don't recall, I don't,
Like
I
I
mean,
say, that's where I'm kind of at a loss.
yeah.
Did we budget any money for that?
Not for the extra one, no. It originally was asked for during budget.
Oh, for the
Just the
initial
courthouse.
$600. Yeah. That's been a while ago.
Right, but I don't know that any of the extras have gone through court and been approved.
Is this an invoice?
Yeah.
Is it a what?
Is it an invoice? Did they add it and then just send us the bill?
Yes, that's correct.
That's exciting.
I mean, one, I want to support the Kiwanis. I want to support the kids. 2, I think that everybody on this court's patriotic. I don't question any of it's patriotism. So, you know, the question is, do we add the $50?
Well, I'm getting out of the conversation. We voted on to put the A around the courthouse, right? That was all that was ever, somehow now we accumulated 5 more.
You confident in that? So, my
Maybe we
concern,
need to talk to
It
Kiwanis.
happened just the way this one has happened.
yeah.
Maybe we need to talk to Kiwanis about it.
Well, you know, what I was going to suggest is that we take no action on this one here and let Kiwanis come back and talk to us during budget time next year and see if we want to add a flag next year. Or 5 flags, 4 that they didn't ask for, and the one that kind of get it straightened out, what we actually have approved and haven't approved.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I don't think they should be putting it out there and doing this work and not asking about it. So,
Mm-mm.
I mean,
We
that's
wouldn't let
more
that happen
way
with
than-
anything else.
It's not
I'll tell you what, I recommend we take no action on item number 19. And I will get with the individual involved and ask him to come back and present during our budget time next year And while he's at it, go ahead and present for all the flags that are around the courthouse and surrounding buildings. That way we'll kind of have an idea of what we've approved and what we haven't approved. Any disagreement with that?
Nope.
All right, item number 19. No action. Item number 20, deliberate and consider possible action regarding rejecting the FY 22-05 broadband expansion RFP. Commissioner Snubs.
I have called NextLink and have not heard back from them.
Well, I put this on because apparently the wording from last court.
Oh, didn't work? Okay. Well, so it's probably not a bad thing I haven't heard from them.
Because we didn't award it to anybody.
Right.
So I think the wording last time was to reject the award, and we haven't awarded it.
Right.
And
we were just in negotiations. Okay. Well, they hadn't called me back anyway, so. So I guess.
So if you want to I mean, the way that it was presented, there wasn't a pick A or B. It was awarded based on overall coverage. So
Wasn't
if you
awarded.
wanna resubmit the proposal, you can submit it, give me a price for A, give me a price for B, and then make those two separate.
Okay.
But what we want to do is be sure that we can engage both of them for separate services at the same time.
Only on one or the other. You
So-
can't talk to both of them for one and both of them for the other.
Well, but so we need to ultimately request a proposal from NextLink.
Well, no, you just submit the proposal and you have project A and you have project B. And if whoever submits is
For each project.
the best one for project A, you deal with them. And then whoever submits for project B, which could be a totally different company, then you deal with them.
But what we don't want to do is put ourselves in a box like we did this time so that we couldn't accomplish the committee's goal of a hybrid broadband between fiber
Well,
and microwave.
the
So how do we do
committee
that?
recommended who we were supposed to be negotiating with, based on the specs that the committee came up with.
Okay, but at this point, I guess it's not clear that the committee is saying, hey, you need a hybrid. You don't need one or the other. And so,
Then maybe the committee needs to revamp the specifications.
That's what I think the committee needs to get back together, because I talked to a couple on the committee, and
And
were-
split it out into
yeah.
overall coverage project A and fiber project B, or however, whatever.
bottom line is, I think that we want to communicate to the community that we're not dropping the ball on broadband. We're going to continue to pursue it. And the last thing we heard was we would go with a hybrid, but,
Well, based on the specs that were put out and the two proposals we got, wasn't going to accomplish that.
okay, so that's what we need to go back and get it right and move forward. Because we still need to get this ARPA money committed, and a big part of it needs to go toward broadband, would be my thinking. Anybody disagree with what, I mean?
No, I don't disagree. I would say our head of our broadband committee is moving to Maryland.
Well, we still have Jennifer Johnson, Spence, Sherman Moore. We've still got some key players. And I think we as a court need to communicate to them what we need, so.
Well, they already have the first set of specs.
Yeah, and
Then they need to go in there and revamp them and say a project A, give me a price, or, not, give me your, overall what you're gonna do and a price, and project B, overall what you're gonna do, percentage of coverage, who does it affect, blah, 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 you know, and all that,
So,
and a price.
so,
And so each company submits two, project A, project B.
okay, say NextLink doesn't, they're not gonna bid on fiber,
Well, then they can submit project B.
which would be for instance.
Right.
Okay, I just want to be sure, we've kicked this thing around for what, year and a half? Yeah, we need to deal with it, guys, be my opinion.
Yeah.
We
But-
still need to get out of it with the next link.
Yeah,
Well,
but-
you just need to get out of this proposal period.
yeah.
So what do we, when they do call me back, what do I need to tell them?
Well, when y'all approve this, we'll send all the companies a letter saying
Oh, okay.
this has been rejected.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, so
So,
what we need is a motion, I would guess, to reject the broadband expansion RFP for 22-5.
I'll second that if that's your motion.
I figured we'd do it in reverse, but whatever.
I'll,
You're the broadband man. I'll make it.
that's fine. I'll take it.
Did you get it, Pam? The
I'll make the
motion,
motion that we reject the broadband expansion RFP.
FY 22-05 specifically. I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have did you get both of those, Pam?
Gary, you seconded them?
I did.
Commissioner Snuggs made the motion to reject it. Commissioner Hollowell seconded said motion. All in favor of rejecting the FY 22-05 broadband expansion RFP, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There
Who's-
are none.
Who's going to get with the committee? You going to get with the committee, or who we going to get with the committee and get them to rewrite it?
Make that motion that you do. You got the contact with Sherman Moore. He was kind of go-to before, wasn't he?
He's one of them, yeah. That's up to you guys. If that's what you want, then.
You got any issues with that, letting him contact them?
Nope.
As long as he contacts all the members, that several of them said that they weren't. Didn't get a lot of the emails. I'm just saying, as
I wasn't riding that horse.
I wasn't riding it either.
long as they all
Yeah.
get together on it, that's great.
But all right, what is the court's direction? Is the court's direction to do hybrid?
That's what I feel like.
I mean, because I don't want to be the face of this thing again and find out, oh, well, crap, that really ain't what we wanted, and all the support bill at the end.
Well, that's just it, I don't know
I'll be-
much about it other than
Yeah.
what I get out of NextLink is kind of microwave type. And Vortex has got to get the fiber to the microwave, so either way, it kind of, they got to work hand in hand somehow. What I've got out of it, I don't know. Is that wrong or right?
No, I think you're right, Bubba, but I don't know how I get there whenever the auditor's saying I got to do it separately. See,
You can't negotiate with two people at the same.
but, okay, but we can negotiate with one of them on the fiber.
And understand what they can provide.
Well, that's why you separate, you can have 5 submittals in the specs. East side, west side, the whole county.
I think I get it.
Hybrid, fiber, I mean, you can put as many
If we do,
different.
if we do project A and project B, and say NextLink and 15 others are focused on the microwave side,
Then you choose.
we select one of those
out of
on the
those
fiber
15
side, and, I'm sorry, on the microwave
To
side.
start negotiations.
Okay, but then can I not go start project B?
Yes.
Okay,
But you were only talking about project A.
on microwave,
Right,
okay.
that's project A.
And I can then, or we the court, but I just want to be sure my marching orders are correct. Then we can come
It's like
back.
having 2 in one thing.
Okay. I just want to be sure that we have a common goal.
But so if you have 2, 15 people submit for this, and 15 for this, you pick the best one out for this one and talk to them, you pick the best one out of this one. Could be the same company, could be two different companies. But it's in one group of specs.
And our thought process is still that the committee writes the spec.
I don't have the knowledge to do it.
I don't either.
I don't understand enough about it either.
Okay, so, and I think that they've collected enough data that hopefully we can move this thing along. And do we need, we gotta go figure out who the team
The broadband
is.
office in the state's up and running been up and running for a while. I mean, they can probably call the broadband office in the state.
I'm
But just
sure-
like with that grant, we were not eligible because the state thought we had good enough coverage.
I'm reasonably certain Sherman Moore has the broadband state on speed dial.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know that any of us have the expertise to.
That's the reason we deferred before, Judge.
Exactly.
To the committee, yeah, so. Okay, so we're gonna resurrect the committee and move on. That's the task. Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Yep.
Yep.
Is it all right if one of us sit on that committee?
Absolutely.
Two of us could sit on that committee, Matt.
Too late.
Two of us could sit on that committee.
I mean, I just so I kind of understand what we're doing. I wouldn't mind being part of it.
I think Matt would be great.
I would, yeah, I think so too.
And one of y'all would be great.
I'll be honest, I don't understand a whole lot about it.
Well, That's
But I would be willing to go learn, but
I think that's the benefit of being on, and that's why I asked about, Sherman Moore, for instance, would he be willing to accompany you in this committee, do you think?
Oh, we didn't dissolve the original one, Judge. He would still be one of the
Okay,
members. Him,
okay.
Jennifer Johnson, Spence.
Okay.
Can anybody else remember any?
Chris Craig,
Who?
Chris Craig.
James Hume, Judge Brinkley.
John Liddell,
Okay, so that's getting pretty close to all of them.
Who was it? John who?
Liddell.
I can get with Jennifer, who's in-house, and get contact information and see if we can't get them in a room. It work? Not like I got anything else to do for the next 2 or 3 months, but I'll see if I can't make it happen.
There you go. Just let us know what you're doing every once in a while.
That's on your calendar, probably going about next week this time.
I'd be highly disappointed if it's not way down the road in 3 months.
Moving right on along to one I'm sure we're gonna clear this time, item number 21.
No, we're not. We're just gonna wait on the attorneys and stuff to sort that out.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, we put off stinking agenda till the attorneys get back with us and say, hey,
You wanna just pull it off?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not gonna forget it, but I've been working on it for 7, 8, 10 years, so.
Is that
I
your
mean-
quote, the stinking agenda?
Did I say the stinking agenda?
I think so.
I think it was. Did you get that?
I don't know if I said it, I guess
I'm
I'm
just
in it.
making a funny of that.
Yeah. I didn't,
Okay, anyway, item
Just give
number
me a hard time.
21 is no action, and do not bring it back until further notice.
yeah, because like I said, we got legal work in that, so I can't drive legal.
Okay. Item number 22, deliberate and consider possible action regarding various grant funds.
We had begun working on the paperwork to get each precinct's road submitted for reimbursement, and since my accident, I don't know where we are on that. But it shouldn't take much. One of the questions I need to ask them is, do I need to submit a copy of everything or just the amounts? Because then it requires a bunch of scanning, but that's not really a problem.
Okay, so
No action.
no action on item number 22. And at this time, item number 23, we're going to go into executive session. we're gonna go into executive session at 5 after 11. Do you have plans with any of us, or
No,
what
I
are you?
just want to draw in.
Executive session at 11:35. See if I can get to that page. Okay, deliberate and consider possible action regarding consultation with attorney regarding proposed actions and advice to the court, real property contract being negotiated, or any personnel matters.
I'd like to make the motion that we reject the request to provide defense in a civil suit involving a former employee.
We have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs, that we reject the request to prevent defense for a former employee
To provide.
to provide, okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second,
That's good. Adam?
Commissioner Arndt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. All right, item number 25. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, second, Commissioner Arndt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. We adjourn. That motion passes 5-0. Man, I thought sure you
What time are you adjourning?
checked to that one.
10:36.